P415 code modification, going live on the 7th of November 2024, represents an important change to the electricity industry in GB. In short, P415 will enable behind-the-meter sites with flexible assets, such as batteries, flexible loads, and EV fleets, to appoint an optimiser, such as a virtual lead party or a virtual trading party, to optimise their assets. This party can be different from their supplier. Now, there are many things to consider when it comes to the ins and outs of P415, such as ensuring that the optimiser can fully access wholesale markets and reconcile these volumes back via the MVRN process. There are also a number of supporting code modifications to support the P415 process, so lots to read up on if you're interested. In this video, we thought we'd take a look into some of the high-level principles of P415, mainly the additional value that hiring an optimiser can bring to behind-the-meter battery storage. In this project, we start with a warehouse in Maidstone, supplied by an unbundled time-of-use retail tariff in our baseline. In our second scenario, they look to evaluate adding battery storage, where the battery works to charge and discharge at commercially optimal times to reduce their network and supply charges. The site also has a 7p per kilowatt-hour feed-in tariff for excess generation. For simplicity, we didn't include CapEx in this one-year model. In our third scenario, we alter the commercial arrangements of the site using submeters to reflect a P415-enabled optimisation scenario. The battery is exposed to wholesale markets alongside being optimised to seek the best return for the customer. Access via these wholesale markets is via an optimiser. We have configured some important parameters, such as the probability of the optimiser picking the best prices and whether the asset can be churned or not. Our load is still supplied via a supplier with the same unbundled time-of-use retail supply tariff as in our second scenario. We've also added an optimiser to the participants and values flow section of the software to reflect the new commercial arrangement enabled by P415. When looking at the results of this project, we can see that the physical behaviour of the battery alters significantly between scenario 2 and 3. This is because it's exposed to more price signals in scenario 3. In particular, we can see that the battery in scenario 3 is exporting to the grid more heavily, as the wholesale energy price offers a stronger price signal than the previous feed-in tariff. Alongside higher export volumes, the battery's state of charge profile has differed dramatically between scenarios. This chart shows the average battery state of charge across the year between scenario 2 and 3. The P415-enabled battery is following a profile much more in line with grid supply and demand. When looking at the cash flows in scenario 3, we can see above the line cash inflows to our customer for net money earned in wholesale markets, rather than purely supply cost savings as in the second scenario. What this demonstrates is that P415 can enable flexible assets to extract additional value that was previously much harder for these assets to access. This value is directly linked with supporting the wider grid and keeping it in balance, an incredibly important job as we transition to an increasingly decarbonised energy system.